Okay, today I want to talk about 5 gardening mistakes that people make all the time. Okay, people go out in their garden and they pick one day in the springtime and they're gonna put in their garden. It's a big mistake because it gives you a one-time mentality. Gardening should be 15 minutes every day. Don't just go out and put in your garden, because then your garden becomes a big weed patch if you think it's a one-time thing. The second big mistake I see all the time is people spend way too much money on gardening when their goal is to save money on food. You can buy food a lot cheaper than you can grow it if you're gonna spend a lot of money on a rototiller and everything else. The number 3 big mistake I see is people will go out and they'll build a big greenhouse thinking that they're going to be able to grow food all year round. I don't know why people make this mistake, but there's so many greenhouses that are not being used. You can grow food all year around in your greenhouse, but most people who build a greenhouse, they don't. And it's a tragedy. The 4th big mistake I see, which may be the biggest problem, is people till the soil when it's too wet. They're tilling too early in the springtime before the soil has dried out. Let your soil dry out before you till. And number 5 is people will take barnyard manure and put it around their plants before composting it. Always compost barnyard manure before you put it on your plants. I'm super excited to be here today and share with you 5 major gardening mistakes that people make. Number one is people plant everything. People go out and they put in their garden and they plant everything all at once at the beginning of the spring, and then they think they're done. Number 2 is they spend way too much money on their garden. Number 2 is they spend way too much money on their garden when what they really need to do is save money on food by gardening. Number 3 is they build a big greenhouse thinking that they're going to save money gardening, and they could. Number 3 is they build a big greenhouse thinking that they're going to grow food all year, and you can grow food all year, but the mistake is people build a greenhouse and then they lose interest and they don't. It's a tragedy. So think twice before you grow food. So think twice before you build a big greenhouse. So think twice before you build a big greenhouse. Number 4 gardening mistake I see all the time is people till the soil when it's way too wet. Give the sunshine in the springtime some time to work and dry out your soil before you start tilling. Number 5, people take their barnyard manure and they put it on their plants, and then they die from nitrogen burn. Make sure that you compost your garden soil before you put it on your garden. By the way, if you didn't know I'm a comedian, I am. So it's okay that I'm a little loud and crazy. Thank you for learning gardening from me. Go to my Patreon page, $8 a month, and I will answer your garden questions. Okay, was that good? Was that bad? Did I need to be more serious? I think I'm going to be more serious today. There's no room for laughter. What? Okay, we're done.